Welcome guys to the first Fjord Hammer video. I'm doing this because today I'm going to be reviewing something that doesn't really work reviewing on the podcast. If this is your first time looking at the channel, you might see that I've got some book reviews, some Age of Sigmar lore coverage. That stuff all works really well on my podcast, Fjord Hammer, but it doesn't really work in video form. uh, it's not very visual, and you can get all that info when I talk about it, when you listen, but when you have something that you need to hold in your hand, like a model, a miniature set, or a terrain piece in this case, I thought it would be best to try and do it on video. So this is my first try doing anything like this, and today we're going to be reviewing the Shattered Shard from Immortal Realms. Now this is an upcoming Kickstarter, so it's not actually out yet. You can't buy into it. You can't like donate anything to it yet, but it'll be here. It should have been out in June, but they're still coming soon apparently. They were kind enough to send me a piece to review, so I figured why not try something new. So this is the terrain piece itself. As you can see, it's very, very high fantasy, very not medieval Germany like a lot of other terrain pieces for fantasy miniature games are. As you can see, it's like a floating isle sort of thing. It comes in three parts. You've got the base, you've got the top half, and then you've got the stem. Now, it's quite a detailed kit, really. If you guys can see, it's got like small holes for all sorts of like skulls and detailing. Uh, the top isn't textured, so you can do whatever you want with that. You can just paint it finished or anything. I'm going to show you guys in a little bit what it looks like painted, because this is pretty much exactly how I got it from the Immortal Realms guys. And as I was putting it together to show you guys what it looked like, I came across a little issue. Obviously, it's connected to the base by this stem. Uh, Now it sits pretty well in the top half. It's not easy to remove. It's quite stable. But in the bottom half, it doesn't sit quite as well. Initially, I couldn't get it in at all. And now it's just a bit wobbly. I had to like work it out, drill out more, because the hole in the bottom piece wasn't deep enough. Which is a bit unfortunate. You know, you don't want your terrain pieces to be wobbly or anything like that. But I expect to fix this just with a bit of green stuff. Once it's painted up, glue the stem into the hole, fill it with green stuff, paint over the green stuff. Not a huge issue. If you've ever worked with any sort of like plastic or resin terrain before, you know that there's always a bit of work to make it work for you. The one thing I would recommend though, which I won't be doing for now, is to put it on a larger base as well, because as you can see, the stem is a bit smaller than the base, so it'll be a bit unbalanced if you have heavy miniatures on top or very large miniatures off to one side. You might get them falling over. Shouldn't happen really, but you don't want to take a chance with your like giant Archeon model or anything like that. It's a fairly substantial kit. It comes, as I said, in just three pieces, so you don't have to like glue on these little shards or anything. Nicely detailed. Obviously, you'll see that better in a while. Uh, as you can see, I haven't actually done much to this yet. Still has like these resin, like all the sort of stuff you have to cut off. But again, that's part of the deal when you're making and working with large sets. So let's see what it looks like when it's painted. So now we've got the complete painted thing. You can see what it looks like. I've assembled it, I've painted it, I've added a bit of detailing on the top and the bottom, and it's pretty big. It's really, really cool. I like the way it looks. I mean, it really looks floating. It's got a clear stem, so there's no like it's not attached. And just to give you guys an idea of how big this thing is, I've got a couple models here for you. So that's what it looks like with a regular Stormcast Eternal. We're going to put up top, we're going to put Krell. So a large-ish human-sized model. And then just to really hammer this home, we've got Nagash. So this thing, it's about to the top of Nagash's hat in size, so it's really, really tall. So I figure I'll show you guys some details on this. As I said, it came in 3 parts, so you can disassemble it like that. Now, I've added some details that's not on the original. So I've added some of the like the Age of Sigmar large base stuff. I've added some snow. I've added these crystals. But what's really cool is like the underside. This thing, it's really, really, really easy to paint up. I dry brushed all of this thing. It would take you probably an hour. Spray painted it properly. It's got nice like skull detailing. It catches the paint really well. Probably the most time spent making this model was the stuff that I wanted to add on top of it. Because for me, making a scenery tell a story is a really important part of having scenery. So seriously, just sprayed it black, dry brushed it with grays. I'll see if I can't put in a close-up of this thing to really show you guys the details. Washed the bit skulls. Very, very, very simple. And the stem got flat base. I'd probably put this on a larger base just so that it's stable. But other than that, same thing. Painted, dry brushed it up. Again, took me basically no time at all. Really, really quick. Really looks nice. Blends well, and it's got, even without the detailing that I've done, it's got enough details. It's got a bit of skull. All the rocks look a bit different. Looks really good. So that's a bit of what it looks like painted. Now, as I mentioned, when I built this, the stem didn't actually fit. So I had to put green stuff down into the stem here and basically solder the stem in place. So that's one of my criticisms with this thing. I would have liked for the stem to just be plug and play, essentially. Maybe my other problem with this kit is it's a bit wobbly. It's not like a huge issue. I'm not afraid of it breaking, but I can easily see that if you're in a like session and you smack down on this a bit hard, push it over or something like that, you might break the stem. Well, that's not a good thing. And then it doesn't feel quite safe for your models. So I would have liked this maybe to have 2 or 3 stems. Immortal Realms is having a set with uh, a larger island. I assume they're going to be using more stems. But either way, I think this is a great kit. It's very, very easy to paint. It fits the Mortal Realms really well. I'll get you guys some stills so you can really see what it looks like. And I hope you guys take a look at it and at their Kickstarter when that comes out. It's been delayed for production reasons apparently, so keep an eye out for when that comes. So I wanted to add a few closer images of the model because I couldn't really show it well on the video. So I know this is just some still images, but here you can see the bottom of the base, the sort of detailing on the rocks, the ground stuff under it. The skulls are also in the base whilst I've added the snow. So you can see how this stuff is really, really, really easy to just dry brush up and get a really nice result from. This is the side of the top platform. You can see it's really interesting. It's got lots of like curves and like focal points. It doesn't look like just an upside down cone. It actually looks like something that's been picked up out of the ground and now is floating around. It also has these sort of skull inlay details, whilst the snow and the crystals and stuff, that's stuff I've added afterwards. And this is the top and my messy desk. Snow and all the like bits are stuff I've added on top. I thought this was like a broken ritual site or something, maybe. Um, so the top of the platform isn't completely smooth. It's got a bit of texture, but I've added some sand and some crackle paint and stuff just to give it a bit more life and fit a bit better into the table that I'm making. Really, really easy to work with. And now you've sort of seen how a version of the finished product can be. So that's the Shattered Shard. Uh, Check it out. Immortal_realms on Twitter. Their Kickstarter, as I said, I hope it's up soon. It's really, really interesting. And if you like this video, check out my podcast, Fjordhammer. You'll find it if you search Google. Check out the other videos I have on the channel. There's some book reviews and some stuff. Or follow me on Twitter at Darth_Alec. See you guys later.